A lot of marketers make this mistake of quitting too early. They have one landing page, one ad, one audience that they go after.
Hi, welcome everybody to today's video. We have a very special guest in the studio today, and he is one of the most experienced digital marketer, and he is going to share with us a lot of new knowledge and a lot of interesting things for us today. So before we start, I would like to introduce everybody to Liew. And Wayne has been in this field for quite some time, and today he's going to share a bit for the audience to hear more about you maybe later on. So maybe Wayne, before we start, we can introduce yourself and how long have you been in this field?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Wayne and I'm a senior online advertiser at Mindvalley. I've been in this field for almost 10 years now. I started everything learning myself about online marketing since my college days, and I've worked in Lazada and marketing agency, and now I'm here at Mindvalley focusing mainly on online advertising.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
10 years, is it?
10 years.
Maybe you can share a bit about your experience in Lazada and the change. Maybe you go to Mindvalley. Maybe how does it differ?
Yeah, sure. So at Lazada, I was doing mainly SEO, so on search engine optimization. So I was actually one of the founding marketing members at Lazada. So I was helping them a lot to get ranked on Google. So when you search for like laptops or mobile phones these days on Google, you see Lazada there.
Yeah.
That I would say that that's mostly me.
Oh.
So so I spent around 8 months at Lazada helping them to build the foundations around SEO. And then I moved on to an agency. I stayed there for 3 years learning online advertising mainly. So I was doing online advertising a lot for small SMEs and like medium-sized SMEs. And then after that, Mindvalley approached me and I decided to join them, and here I am at Mindvalley doing online advertising. Yeah, I'm actually approaching my 3rd year now.
Wow.
At Mindvalley. Wow. So yeah.
So I mean, a lot of people out there, they always talk about the whole concept of digital and online marketing. Maybe you can give a gist a bit about from your own perspective of what is online and digital marketing.
Yeah, so to me, online marketing is basically a way for you to put your message, your product or services out there on the internet. And the one thing that that makes online marketing distinctive from all the other marketing channels like out of home or TV advertising and all that is that you get so much data coming back once you put something out there. And it's not just data that you get, it's also the fact that you are getting all these data almost instantly.
Yeah.
So if I put out something today, like in 6 hours, I will get a lot of data for me to go through and figure out like my next steps to approach.
Everything is fast nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Everything is fast. So talking about fast also, you know, when we talk about digital marketing or online marketing, we talk about the maturity skills that we have, even in Southeast Asia as a whole. Where do we stand? I mean, are we still so far away? Are we catching up, or how are we doing?
So when we look at where we stand, I would like to split that into 2 sides of things. So you on one spectrum you have the consumers, and on the other spectrum you have the businesses. So consumers in this region is far ahead. Mobile penetration in Malaysia, for example, is higher than 100% as far as I know, and then we are always on our phones. Some of us are on 2 to 3 devices. And businesses is not tapping into it. A lot of businesses, especially SMEs, they are not sure even where to start. There are so many channels out there. There's Google, there's Facebook, now we have Instagram, Snapchat coming in, and they just don't know where to start. And because they don't know where to start, they choose not to start. And because of that, from my experience here, online marketing and all the online marketing channels are still fairly underpriced. And there's a lot of room, a lot of opportunities for SMEs to actually, or businesses in general, to play around with.
Like you said, there's a lot of platform, there's a lot of ways for the marketers to penetrate and everything. But in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, where do we see this online marketing in our future, as if the Southeast Asia?
More platforms are going to come in, and businesses will need to move even faster and be more adaptable with their strategies. And if they are not starting, they are not getting the data for them to learn, and therefore getting left behind even more. So I would say that consumers are going to keep moving faster and faster in terms of adaptation, like adopting the new technologies, adopting the new devices and also platforms. And businesses really need to catch up really fast, else other people like Alibaba is going to come in and they're going to take over everything that we have.
Yeah, but the thing is everybody now can do online marketing.
Yeah.
Everybody can do digital marketing, also called. But can we really learn by ourselves all this concept of digital marketing? Is it out there for us to learn, or do we need a specific guidance, what do you think?
So for me, I'm like 100% self-taught marketer myself. So I was studying accounting back in college, couldn't complete the whole thing, and I decided to move into marketing. And of course, like having a background like this, you need to just pick things up yourself.
Right.
So if a business owner or an aspiring marketer is actually willing to learn, there's actually a ton of resources out there.
Yes.
And I think more than just knowledge, the key here is actually getting to like execution and like implementation of what you learn. That's when you get to learn the most. Because when you are like implementing the campaigns, you know what works, what doesn't work for a specific business, and then you know what are the next knowledge or the next segment of this entire marketing industry that you need to go tap.
Yeah, because everything is at the palm of your hand, right?
Yeah.
And with that being said, a lot of people today, they have this fear, this fear on how to start, and maybe it costs a lot of money, maybe all this fear. Maybe you can share a bit. Does it really cost a lot of money? Like people always say, it costs a lot of money to do this.
I guess people have this perception because a lot of like successful companies that are doing online marketing or like case studies that they read about always involves like a huge budget, but it doesn't have to be. So as I mentioned earlier, you get instant feedback from the marketing campaigns that you run. You can start with a budget of as small as 10 ringgit today, like per day.
Yeah.
And then if you are able to get leads or like business out of the $10, that means you can afford to spend more.
Yes.
And then from there on, it's just putting in more money. But if you fail, you just lost 10 ringgit, right? So you just need to, if you lost that 10 ringgit, things doesn't seem to work, it's time to rework the whole thing, try something new, and then who knows, the next test might get you some good results.
Right. So based on your experience and based on your findings throughout your journey in this digital marketing world, what are some key factors that makes an online marketing successful?
Test a lot. So everything that you read about warrants a test. There are a lot of case studies out there about how people are doing things and all that. I usually take them very lightly. So if somebody out there is saying that blue button performs better than red button, to me, I don't just like, okay, it's time to use blue button across all my landing pages. It's actually for me to test it out for my own business, because every business has a different audience and every offer is different. So every idea or every learning that you get out there warrants a test. So I guess you need to test a lot and test quickly.
Oh, test.
But
what are some common mistakes? Because like what you said just now, we cannot just suddenly implement everything. But what are some common mistakes that we see in the new digital marketers?
So a lot of marketers make this mistake of quitting too early. So they spend, say, 100 ringgit on Facebook ads. They have one landing page, one ad, one audience that they go after. They run the ad for like a week, it didn't work, they stop and they tell everybody that Facebook doesn't work. If Facebook doesn't work, then Facebook wouldn't be this multi-billion-dollar company that they are today. So it must work. So if it doesn't work for your business, it's probably time to relook into all the landing pages, all the funnels, all the offers that you have, and just find out a new way to approach the whole thing again.
Wow, that is a very good thought that you shared with us. Maybe before we wrap up today's discussion, maybe you can give a final advice to those who just started into this field of digital marketing, and maybe you want to share some of your findings or some of your thoughts, anything, your final advice to this audience.
Sure. So the industry is actually moving really, really fast right now. If you are a business owner or an aspiring marketer, I would subscribe to like all the Facebook blogs and like Google official blogs to get the latest learnings. And then, as I mentioned, from these learnings, you get ideas of like how to approach your campaigns. And from there, it's just implement things really quickly and really fast and get exclusive insights that apply just to your business.
Wow, thank you so much for your time with us today.
Welcome.
There you guys have it. We have Wayne, and he's been sharing a lot of good things and new things for us. And if you want to learn more, you can always participate in our workshop and also our webinar. You can always click on the description link down below and be part of the team. And we'll look forward to see you soon. See ya. Bye-bye.